All right, everybody, take two on this video. I wound up recording a long ass video and then realized my microphone wasn't plugged in after all that stuff. All right, recap. This maybe it'll be shorter this time because I already know what I want to say. Recap. So, first of all, sorry for not posting a video after every block for these last couple blocks, block 10, 11, and 12. I've been really busy. It's springtime here in Chicago, and there's been a lot of work that needed to be done in the backyard, not only repairing stuff from winter damage, like all of my emitter system for my garden. I'm a big gardener, but also just getting my gardening beds ready, getting them replanted, putting down some weed cover on them, and getting all that stuff going. So I apologize for not having videos up and being prepared to tell you guys what's going on during this process. So if you could tell by the thumbnail, the last three blocks have kind of been bumpy. And, you know, I just mentioned that I'm a big gardener. I've had some difficulties in the last 12 days doing serious physical labor and maintaining fasting. I've noticed that I've, absolutely been depleted. And of course, because I'm not eating any food. But the big problem with that is that I'm doing a lot of bending and standing up, planting plants, getting back up, moving dirt, doing whatever. And I found that I was getting extremely dizzy to the point where I couldn't do the work in the garden. Not as efficiently and as quickly as I wanted to because of the lack of food. So what was the solution to that? Solution was to eat something, right? So let's get into the numbers. The numbers kind of tell it all. This is a no-lie diary. It doesn't do me any good to try to lie to myself. I'm not going to lie to you guys. These numbers are 100% accurate, and there's no fluff to them. So if I screw up and you see weights go up, it's the simple answer to that is because I ate something. So let's look at the numbers and talk about what has been going on. So ending of block 9 on the 5th of May, I ended at 208.6 or 208.4, which was a 22, well, it was a 20.4 loss. And that was my big, I lost 20 pounds in 34 days, which is great. I felt great about that. So then we went into the refeed, and then that following day on the 6th, I went back up to 211. This is a consistent pattern. It always happens after the refeed, and that is because of the glycogen and the increased water that's in my system from digesting food. The following days, I went down to 2082, which was lower than the end of block 9. And then wound up gaining weight again, 209.6, and maintained 209.6 into the refeed day. And the reason why was because I had to eat. I was working out in the garden, and I was just getting way too dizzy. I had to put something in my stomach. Now, what am I putting in my stomach? Because there's not a huge increase, right? And there's a maintaining of the weight. So mainly I ate vegetable related stuff, salads, mainly salads with a little bit of protein. I did get some protein in. I'd have like a salad with maybe 4 ounces of some sort of meat, or a chicken, or tuna, or something like that, a fish. Going into block 11, I had refeed day on the 9th, and so back up once again to 11.4. Sorry. Let me end block 10. So at the end of block 10, I gained from block 9. I gained 1.2 pounds from block 9. At the beginning of block 11, again, maintained that 111 weight. And then on the 11th, that was Mother's Day. So took the wife out. We had breakfast. We had lunch. So I wound up eating twice that week because of participating in Mother's Day. But on the plus side of that, she likes to go on bike rides for Mother's Day. So we did a 12-mile bike ride. It doesn't really show in the mileage. I don't know how Fitbit records activities. I mean, they have a whole, like a line item for activities, but I don't know how that's getting calculated. It doesn't get calculated for the steps. Maybe it does get calculated for the steps. And the amount of steps you take in a bike is significantly less than it would be for walking. I don't know. I'm not sure. I mean, I can't wrap my head around it. What is significant is the number of calories that was lost during that day was like 1,000 calories or 2,000 calories more than what the norm is. So you could see that there was a big activity. I think we biked 12 miles or something like that. The following day, I was at 210. So again, to be expected because I ate on the 11th. And then following up the end of block 11, I was back down to 207.6, which was a net loss of 2 pounds in that from the previous block. And actually additional pounds, right? So I went down 1.2 pounds from block 9. So I'm still losing weight. This whole process, even though I'm kind of eating during the times that I needed to, I'm still losing weight. It's not that I'm gaining weight. So it's almost like even though it wasn't consistent 1 meal a day, because there was one day that I would fast for 24 hours or maybe 36 hours and then have something to eat, that salad, but then go ahead and go back to fasting maybe another 24 hours. It wasn't the amount of food that I was. What was I saying? Was I talking about food? Man, see, it's been 24 hours since I've had food. I'm losing my brain. But yeah. So, anyways, I'm not taking in an enormous amount of food. It's interesting that this has been kind of like a trial run for the OMADs thing, though I'm not doing specifically OMADs. I'm not eating every day. I think that was my train of thought. So finishing up, lost that 1.2 pounds, and then going into block 12. You could see a little bit of craziness went on there. So the refeed day for the 13th was, I wasn't really that hungry because I'd eaten on the 11th. So I didn't eat a lot of food on that refeed day. And to be honest with you, I kind of confused my refeed day. I thought my refeed day was on the 14th and not on the 13th. So I ate a little bit on the 13th, and then the 14th I was like, oh, this is my refeed day, I'm going to munch out. But then I don't look at this Excel file every day. I just take a screenshot of my weight for the scale. Well, actually it tracks it, but I save off the screenshots and stuff. So I wound up eating on the 14th, and so that's why the 15th is a 209, right? So that's equivalent to my refeed day. And then 16th I'm back down, and 17th I'm back down again, which I've lost a net loss of, was it 2.2 pounds from the end of block 9. So I mean, look, it's not that great. The thing, I watch a lot of these, weight loss videos and TikToks of weight loss videos and before and after stuff like that. But the problem is with these guys is they're trying to gather views, right? But my videos aren't sexy. Just me talking to you, showing you some numbers, showing you what's actually happening, talking about the process and how this process is. And the things you don't get in their videos is how much it sucks. They don't tell you how hard it is. They just say, oh yeah, man, I'm so pumped up, dude. I fasted for 90 days, or I fasted for this and that and the other thing. Maybe you did, maybe you didn't. I don't know. I don't know what you're trying to sell me here. You're trying to sell me your supplement. You're trying to sell me your whatever. But look, fasting is not easy. And I haven't been true to it for the last 14 days. But I'm not leaving this process. I'm still of the mindset that, look, if I can fast because I don't need it, then I'm going to do it. So this is not, it's turning out to be less of a true 90-day fast, or at least these last couple blocks have been less than optimal 90-hour fast. I am getting back into it though, but I have some problems because there's some dates that are coming up here, like yesterday, where I have social events and their parties. And, you know, when you're getting into the 36 hours of not eating and you're sitting there in a group of people that are all eating, it's a little bit hard to kind of bypass it. And that's bullshit because I should be stronger than that, but I'm not. So I wind up eating. So yesterday there was a um, uh, reveal party, a gender reveal party for a baby, and they wound up having some food there, and so I wound up eating there. So I kind of got out of my fast again, and then coming up, luckily, it's Memorial Day coming up, so luckily my refeed lands on the big barbecue that I'm doing on the 25th. But I had planned that somebody was going to come over on the 24th. So I mean, I don't know. I might not keep it towards the 25th either, but I'm still trying to reach that and gain that 20-pound loss for this month. Hopefully I can do it. Look, the end goal is this, that I reach my target and that I maintain the weight afterwards. What has been fascinating to me over the last 12 days is that I have been able to maintain my weight with a little bit of food. And I felt good about it. And now I really need to figure out, excuse me, I'm drinking coffee. I need to figure out the right balance for that food, for my nutrition level. If I'm going to go to OMADs at the end of this, what does that nutrition level need to be to get all my daily vitamins and all that stuff in? That's what I'm saying. What do I need to eat to be able to maintain that and to stay steady at the weight? And this is has been not really a trial run, but it turned out to be kind of a trial run of that. Though I wasn't eating every day, it still turned out to be more so than not a trial run of me kind of doing the OMAD. So it's possible to maintain the weight. I'm seeing that it is possible to maintain my current weight and not gain. Yeah, there's been some challenges. Look, I've had a freaking mass craving for carbs, for bread or pasta or something like that. I haven't done it. I haven't eaten it. But the craving is there. It's palpable. And so I'm wondering what that is. Is that my body screaming at me saying I need a specific something? It's not carbs, right? It can't be the carb that I'm, wanting really bad. It has to be something in it. What does bread give you? What does pasta give you? What do those give you nutritionally that my body is telling me that I absolutely need? I need to figure that out. I need to figure out what I'm missing from my daily diet to try to figure out, okay, what do I do here, right? So that's it. There's my mindset. Look, I'm not perfect. This is hard. If you're going to do this, expect it to be hard. I don't feel defeated. Maybe I feel a little bit ashamed. I feel a little bit ashamed. And maybe that's why I didn't do a video, because I'm not sticking 100% to it. But look, this is the reality of it. And I want to show you the truth, right? This is not some sort of fiction of me jumping around. Yay! This is so freaking easy. Buy my whatever. No, this is just me telling you what I'm doing and how I'm doing it and the reality of it. And I'm not ultimately discouraged. I guess I'm a little ashamed of not being able to maintain what I said I was going to do. But ultimately, I'm not discouraged. The weight is going down. Admittedly, it's going down slower than what I want it to be, and I'm really starting to get concerned if I'm going to meet my target in 90 days. But I'm committed to make my target, and so I need to double down, and I need to get better at putting in the steps and putting in the miles and putting in the exercise, because that's another thing that I've been kind of lacking on. Though I feel that there's an equivalent. I've been working really hard in the garden, and so I feel like, do I really need to do an exercise routine? Because look, I sweat my ass out there, and I did a bunch of lifting, and I did a bunch of everything. Is that equivalent to a 40-minute workout? Maybe. I would think that it is. And that's where my brain is at. My brain is at, I think this is equivalent. So while the steps haven't been over 10,000, there's been some really good calorie burn days in there. So I feel that, okay, maybe I'm getting, but I'm not doing what I said I was going to be doing. So I kind of feel a little bit like I've let myself down because I'm not, maintaining what I said I was going to maintain. Okay, enough of that said. So I've got another, 14 days left in this block. It's this month, and then was it this June 2nd? So it's a couple days into June that the actual 60 days is going to be complete. I'll have a full recap at the end of 60 days. Again, pictures, all that stuff, and show you guys where I'm at. I definitely noticed that there is a weight loss. My pants are significantly looser. I think while I'm wearing a 38 pants, it's falling off my hips now, which is a good thing, right? So I'm having to, tighten up my belt, and it's kind of cool that I can actually get 2 belt holes, belt loops. Is it a hole or a loop? Whatever it is, but 2 notches more than what I could do before. And so that's feeling really good. Body overall, other than the fact of the days that I was really working in the garden and felt dizzy, feels good. I feel like I can do stuff. One of the biggest motivating factors of doing this whole thing is like I have laundry in the basement, and the bedroom is on the 2nd floor. So it's 2 little short flights of stairs. And when I'd get up to the top of carrying this basket full of clothing, and it's heavy because my cat usually jumps in the basket from the basement, gets in the basket at the basement, and then I have to carry her and the clothes all the way up. So it's like the clothes weight plus a 10-pound cat. I was winded. My heart was beating too hard. It was fucking ridiculous. It was ridiculous. I was feeling like, man, this should not be that hard. This is, for my age, this should not be that. I should be feeling like this when I'm 80. I shouldn't be feeling like this in my 50s. There's no way I should be feeling like this. So there was a lot of things that was a big motivating factor. I was just freaking tired of being the weight that I am. And if I came to you today with this report saying I gained like 10 pounds, I would feel really bad. But I didn't. I've lost even more weight than what I've started. So if you look from, the end of block 9 to the end of block 12, even though it's only a 2.2 pound loss, it's still a 2.2 pound loss. It's not a gain overall over the last 12 days. So doing good. I'm doing good. I appreciate you guys watching. Thank you for being here. If you're doing this journey with me, don't get discouraged. That's the biggest thing that I could say. It's just don't give up. And I think that's the thing. That's the key to everything, is don't stop. Continue to keep working on it until you get to the weight that you want to be at, because you'll be so much happier. I'm not even halfway there, and I'm super happy. So at any rate, sorry for the long-winded video. I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks. Bye.